Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWeb Results.
I am Charles Lewis, your client results strategist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. 378. That is 378.
After 377 and right before 379.
As always, and usually digitally, we have a tip from our previous podcast, and the tip is use paid clicks to support content promotion.
After you spend the time writing that content, go ahead and invest some budget into paying to promote that content. Maybe some boosted posts on Facebook, maybe a sponsored tweet through Twitter with links to the content that you just wrote. That way that bolstered budget can help promote your new content.
Subscribe and follow. Boom. All right, so please remember we are filmed live here in Houston, Texas, and Charles and I, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers, and our mantra is
do not be a douche.
Do not be. It is not a good
Very
good
not
look.
a good look at all.
So we have kind of a dark subject today. It's a subject that I actually don't know as much as I feel like you think I should know about the subject. And what is that?
We're talking about negative SEO today. You know, that practice of like literally trying to decrease in rankings, right? Who would do that and why they would do that and how you can kind of prevent that from happening to you. Punch in the face to Aleh Barysevich and the good folks over at Search Engine Journal. 7 tips to protect your site from negative SEO. Getting to that in a minute.
All right. If you are in a position to have some sort of electronic device, maybe you're watching us on Facebook, you should like promote us or tweet us. What should they tweet?
Tweet us. Use the hashtag SEO podcast. This is number 378. Be sure to tag us in it at eWeb Results at Best SEO Podcast. That way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking stuff.
All right. So if this is the first time you've listened to the podcast, howdy. Thank you for tuning in. Punch in the face to you. That is a good thing.
And punch in the face to Marcus and you guys who are watching us live right now. Manny, I see you. Nolan, my favorite Davis. Thanks to all you guys who tuned in live.
I don't know. We're gonna have a Sammy Davis here at the office, so he might be dropping off on the favorite Davis list.
He's still my top, at least my top 3 favorite Davis. At least, and I know a whole bunch of Davis. Like my mom's maiden name is Davis.
Okay, so
you know what I'm saying?
You like have a lot.
Yeah, and he's top 3. Like that's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. If you've listened to this podcast before, then you know the segment that we're about to skip. And the reason we skip it, it really works this way. If we get 10 shikos.
Psycho, that's an eWeb Results branded term for like social engagement. Stands for shares, likes, and follows. Psycho.
If we get 10 of those and we get a review, then 2 things happen. one, I don't get a tear tattoo under my right eye. And the other is we actually don't go through the whole process of explaining to you exactly where to leave us a review. We got those 10 shikos. We got those reviews. And so we're going to skip that section.
People back.
Yeah. It's like 38 increase in Twitter.
And TweetDeck sucks. Just drop that out there. As much as I use it, and that's a love-hate relationship, right? Because it's great in reference to like organizing columns from mentions to direct messages to just your regular stream.
Right.
But when you manage multiple accounts on there, and our Best SEO podcast, it's kind of auto-tweeting. So since it's doing that, I get a limit on who I can follow back. From there. And so once I follow 5 people, I'm done following for the day.
It's done.
It's just done. It won't let me follow no more than 5 people a day.
So you're just getting caught up like 5 a day.
So the eWeb account is caught up.
Right.
No limit, right? But the Best SEO, it probably won't ever get caught up because I can only do 5 a day.
There is another option. You could log into the Twitter account and then All right. So the woes of social media. All right. So what we will do is tell you how you can connect with us. So just to make sure that we don't cover the whole process of how to leave us a review, we're going to share with you our profile links on the platforms that we're on. And you can get to us and do what you need to do on, say, facebook.com/
psycho us when you get there at eWeb Results.
Twitter.com/
eWeb Results.
Instagram.com/
eWeb Results.
YouTube.com/
eWeb Results.
And LinkedIn.com/ company/ all of that.
I was ahead of time.
We'll take you. You know that.
Yeah, I could hold that one in. That one was on its way out already.
It came with song too. All of those will take you to our profiles on those platforms, and make sure you shiko us.
Yeah, share, like, and follow.
When
And
you-
like all the other stuff, like retweet, subscribe, and everything that's applicable to the platform you checking us out on.
Please do that.
Yeah.
All right. If you're a PHP genius or a WordPress guru, we are probably looking for you. Go ahead and leave an audio resume, 713-510-7846. If you are interested in a free comprehensive website profit analysis, go ahead and go to our website, ewebresults.com, and you'll see the green button. Fill that out, and we'll get you that free comprehensive website profit analysis.
Let me drop this in there real quick. As you go to those platforms and you psycho us, keep in mind that we follow back.
Right.
And so we will reciprocate that same psycho.
Yep. You will get value from that. And I heard we don't have Algo Cat today.
Algo Cat today.
So I've just got a little bit of news. I had 3 little points on here. Google, Google Drive. I use it. I don't use it as much as I should, actually, because I've kind of got into the Dropbox ecosystem, and we'll shift out of it because we're on G Suite. So we will shift out of it. It's just going to take me a while to get my head around shifting out of it.
I love Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets.
Yeah.
All of that.
Really good. Now they're going to actually be able to, so Google Drive will be able to back up and sync your whole computer. How cool is that? I sent that over to Javi because he's kind of in charge of backups and things like that. And he was like, well, that's just scary. Now they're going to have even more data.
Yeah. No.
Are you going to get ads based on
what kind of icons you got on your desktop?
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Oh, man. That would suck. Kind of.
Yeah.
It might be a good experience. Like, I was looking for that. Thank you, Google. I needed that ad.
So there's like, is there a difference between creepy and suck? Creepy absolutely suck. I kind of wanted to see those shoes or whatever, whatever it may be. Marissa Mayer hates Yahoo Mail just as much as everyone else does. She liked it when she was working at Yahoo. And
she didn't. She was just saying that. She was trying to get that check.
I forgot to do the air quotes.
Or you got to change the octave in your voice when you say that.
Oh,
like,
she liked
it.
Yeah, back when she was at Yahoo. Actually, one of her tweets was, "I'm so glad to get back to Gmail. It's so much easier on a platform I built." Because she was involved in building, and that's kind of cool. Yeah. Little cocky.
That's why she didn't like Yahoo. It wasn't that it just really sucked.
Yeah.
She just didn't build it.
Yeah. And then Amazon Wand. Have you seen this?
Amazon Wand?
So it really is. So they came
like
out
a
with
wand?
Well,
like literally a
no,
wand?
it's like a scan wand. So you can actually scan produce, not produce, but
Okay,
products.
it's an app.
No, it's a scanner.
A scanner, okay.
And it's got Alexa built into it. So it's a handheld, small little scanner. Alexa, the whole thing plays.
So like you walking through the grocery store, scanning stuff, trying to find out where it's cheaper at.
Well, no, because it has to work at your house because it's got to be connected to Wi-Fi.
Oh, so you're scanning stuff at home.
Like, oh, throw this can away, scan it.
And so it's tracking
Order
to let
placed.
you know,
Order placed. And then you grab it and say, order my favorite white wine. I mean, they have a little
you've
video.
already scanned it. And so,
it'll be there in 2 days, right? I mean.
Or depending if it's at the local one, it'll be there in 3 hours.
Yeah. And it's free right now because you pay $20 for it, and then you get $20 credit towards your next.
Man, so punch in the face to the technology companies who pushing the boundaries of technology.
Absolutely.
Man, so my kinfolk has the Gear 360 joint, the Galaxy 360 camera deal.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, I need one. I don't even know why I need it.
Nolan has one.
Hey. I need that. And I don't even know why I need it, but I just need it because it was fun. It was like, it was following him around. It was doing this. It was like, and it was shooting in for like super HD 4K situation. I was like, I wish I needed it for a real reason.
Yeah. Because then not only would I get it, I would also have stuff to do with it.
Yeah. Now if I get it, I'm about to probably go embarrass myself trying to make a video. But the technology was live.
All right. So we had one contact that came straight from one of our forums. Let's do that first. It's kind of it says here's the message. Hi guys, your podcast is brilliant. Tell me where I can leave you a 5-star review. We can't because we got 10 shikos. And we got a review.
ewebresults.com/G+.
All of the G+. That's where you can do it. I was researching HTTPS and understand the reason for it. A developer told me we don't have to redirect the HTTP version of the site to the HTTPS and keep both running.
You don't have to redirect the HTTP version. So the non-secure version, you don't have to redirect the non-secure version to the secure version.
And he asks, is that true? And we'll stop right there. That is not true.
Yeah.
You need to
Well,
redirect
it
that.
ain't true. You
It
don't have
works.
to. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Right.
But our recommendation is that you should.
Since this is an SEO podcast,
Yeah.
it is not true that you do not need to redirect them.
You should redirect.
Absolutely. It sounds odd to me. Then I found an article below, and he listed the article, and the comments at the end worried me about people losing ranking big time when moving to HTTPS. Your thoughts on that? So, can you lose ranking when you redirect from HTTP to HTTPS? And we covered this probably 3 podcasts ago. We talked about it a little bit. Anytime you do a 301 redirect, there's some estimates about there that you lose 5 to 15%. You can, not do, but can lose 5 to 15% of your link juice, right? So that's the value that's coming to your website, and that is recoverable, right? So yes, it can impact it. You got to just look at, how much of your organic ranking is related to your inbound links,
strategy.
right?
Exactly.
If it's mostly you got great on-page stuff and you really don't have that many links outbound pointing in, then it's probably not a big deal. If you've got decent content and a ton of links pointing to your website, good for SEO, then making that change might have some impact.
And it could have a positive impact. Like don't stand on the skate of fear, because once Google made it kind of obvious that they were favoring sites that were on a secure server. And even if you do a search right now, I would bet money that half of the results you see organically are HTTPS. And so, and with all of our accounts, we've moved to HTTPS, yes. and frankly, we haven't experienced any drops. Matter of fact, we actually got a couple pops from a few different clients. And so I would encourage you to not be scared. What I would say though is, and we're gonna get into how to look at links in a minute. What I would say is go check your links. This is a good time to maybe make some changes, disavow some things if you're gonna do that. And I'd also say go ahead and touch up your content, just so once you do the URL redirect from HTTP to HTTPS and you resubmit it to Google, Google sees, a newer secure site. They see some fresh updated content, and they see a cleaner link profile. And that way, you have a less chance of
incurring some sort of drop.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing is potentially to have a pay-per-click strategy behind that. So
be ready to push traffic to your site.
If you're spending $1,000 and you're getting lots of organic and you do get a drop, then maybe you got to spend, because I actually was talking with a prospect out of England. They do some really cool brake caliper stuff. And he had switched domains. So this was not HTTP to HTTPS.
Totally different ball game.
He's a sharp guy, so I believe he got the 301 redirects. Obviously, a possibility that didn't happen. But his ranking slowly came back. But he was like done. He was like, man, when that happened, I was dumping money into PPC to keep my keep my traffic
business afloat.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great question. Punch in the face to you. Your name is here on this list that I didn't get his name. I did not get his name. Yeah.
To him. Punch in the face to you, homie.
Nice guy.
Yeah, guy who got a redirect.
Yes. Great stuff.
So I had 2 pieces of news.
All right.
2 pieces of news real quick. Bing. Let's talk Bing for a minute.
Okay.
Bing,
do we have to?
Yeah, we do. We do. Mainly because it's being ad related, and one of the things we do here is after campaigns are optimized and running well in Google, we'll import them into Bing, right?
Yep.
And try to max out there because the clicks are a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
And so Bing Ads is introducing in-market and custom audiences. So they're catching up with Google's audiences, right? So an in-market, for those who just wondering, that's not necessarily the in-market and custom audience. So the custom audience, that's your remarketing list.
Right.
Google is calling it a remarketing list. Facebook is calling it a retargeting list. Bing is calling it a custom audience, right? And it's basically anybody who visited your site before, and now they become part of your custom audience.
Right.
But then they also introducing in-market audiences. So that's like, so Google offers this also, but this is more like people who have searched or participated online in an activity similar to what you offer.
Right.
So maybe they didn't visit your pool cleaning site, but they did search for pool cleaning. They did have some questions about pool cleaning. Maybe they even purchased some pool cleaning supplies from some other online store, and they were logged into Bing. And so Bing knows that. And so if you add pool cleaning to your in-market audience, then you'll capture all of those people who took those actions, right? So shout out to Bing. We'll punch in the face to Bing for still playing catch up and actually catching up.
Pretty cool.
That's what's up. Last piece of news is Apple. Talk Apple Maps.
All right. Yeah.
You're not an iPhone user.
I am not an
LG
iPhone user.
user.
Yeah. I'm now an LG. Yeah. You say both with disdain.
Yeah.
Or just confusion. Maybe it's not to say it's just confusion. You're an Apple user? An LG?
Yeah. The Pro Samsung over here. Galaxy, Tab, phone, watch, all that. Apple
What's your
Maps.
laptop?
My laptop is a MacBook. Yeah.
Just saying.
And my desktop is Windows.
You're feeling relatively agnostic to me.
Hey, man. It's called balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One computer provided by work. That's one. And the other one is a preference I've had for like 15 years or something.
So Apple Maps as they're catching up with Google Maps also. Right. Apple Maps as the indoor mapping for malls and airports right now.
Oh, yeah.
And they only did like the big malls in the major cities, but they say they rolling out like 30 different malls a month or something like that. So that's just kind of cool. The thing that sucks about it though is that there isn't any directions given inside the mall. Like, you know,
because it doesn't necessarily know where you're at because of the GPS doesn't work inside the
mall.
mall.
According to the article I read, it will let you know where the store is and how you need to get there.
Right.
It just won't tell you the directions, like turn left at the Pallet Road, or, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's still kind of cool because at the end of the day, that would probably be a better experience than looking at the board, you know, the board and trying to figure out
first
where.
It's like, you are where here? Am I on the second floor? I just walked in from the parking garage.
Yeah, exactly.
The garage. Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. You know, you'd be sitting there looking at your phone like, I think I'm here. But
there are going to be a lot more people falling into fountains. Remember when we watched that?
Man, like, come on, lady, you ain't hear that water? Wow. Yeah, so that's my news, man.
All right. So, and I have one more review.
Okay.
This review is from KShell99 from Canada.
KShell.
I like it. And this one is, of course, 5 stars. And I think it says SEO style and substance. Chris and Charles are a lot of fun and run the most entertaining SEO podcast on the internet. I like that. But don't let the chuckles and giggles fool you. They know their stuff.
I'm chuckles, he's giggles.
Every episode is packed with useful and actionable tips for the biggest marketing platform on the planet,
the internet.
This is awesome. I listen to an episode on my walk to work and usually have at least one action I can't wait to implement upon arrival. This is sounding a little familiar.
Man.
One power-packed punch in the face to these dudes, 5 stars.
Oh, have we ever got a power-packed punch in the face before?
Maybe that's the first.
Yeah.
Unless I'm reading this one again, but I don't know.
No, that's different. There was someone else who talked about listening to it on the train, on the way to work, and then they have usually an action item they can take advantage of. So hers was extremely similar.
That's very cool. K-Shell, punch in the face to you from Canada. All the way from Canada. That is the potatoes of the podcast. It's time to get into the meat.
Yeah, so like I said, punch in the face to Search Engine Journal and Aleh Barysevich. This is his second article we've done by him this year. He posted this article.
By the way, his Twitter handle is AB80.
AB80. Y'all hit him up at AB80, AB80. Tell him, hey, at eWeb Results is going in on your podcast, on your article right now.
Yeah, those of you are on Facebook, go if you've got a Twitter account, go ahead and do that right now. Hit him up at AB80.
And so he posted this article, the top 7 ways to defend against negative SEO.
All right, so
negative SEO.
Battening down the hatchets, we're putting up the wall, the fence, the whatever. Okay,
what you know about negative SEO?
So negative SEO, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like I don't know. I certainly don't know 7 things. Or I think I don't know, right? Like there's things like, oh yeah, I knew that would be detrimental. But I think of really the first thing that comes to my mind in terms of negative SEO is negative link building, right? So how do you go on to whatever horrible websites and point those and add links that point to your competition?
Yeah, like let's say you trying to bring down your competition, so you go to some porn site and you post comments with links to your competitor's website.
Yep. Right? That would be negative SEO.
Yeah, it's just extremely douchey. Even saying that out loud.
It feels like I need to go take a shower.
Yeah, like I need to go rinse my mouth out for even knowing how to do that, frankly. But yeah, great example of negative SEO. Right. And that's really what the bulk of it is. It's really negative link building has kind of had the biggest impact. He has some other ones in here that are pretty good. So Aleh's definition, he says negative SEO is the practice of implementing black hat SEO techniques on another site. on another site. He says usually an SEO attack is unleashed by a disgruntled competitor or his or her minions with the goal of reducing that site's ranking. Matter of fact, he says they play dirty. They may even bog down your website with hundreds of spammy links, flood you up with fake reviews, or just hack your website outright. He's right. And unfortunately, man, it's just something that you may have to deal with at times. It's an ugly thing to have to deal with, especially if you don't know it's coming. Like, you're like, why did my ranking drop? Why am I not getting any traffic? Why can't I be found anymore? Who the hell is all these people linking to me? Like, who is all this?
Spent figuring out what happened,
exactly,
not like fixing it. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just a hassle to deal with, and unfortunately, there are douches out here who practice negative SEO. And so Aleh is about to give us 7 ways to defend against said negative SEO. Number one, he says perform. What was your answer? You said links, right? Yep. His number 1 is perform regular link audits.
Yep.
Right?
That makes sense.
He says regular link audits are good practice for any business, but they can save your bacon if you're ever the victim of negative SEO attack. He says if you suddenly notice a huge spike or drop and you haven't been working on link building, that should raise some red flags. He's absolutely right, man. Look, if you've been like consistently building links, right? Like for us, for example, with every marketing client, we try to build between 2 to 4 links every month, right? Consistently every month, build a decent link to the website. And so if you've been doing that consistently for over a year, then Google understands what your link profile looks, how it grows, and everything's good. And then all of a sudden you get a spike, 10 or 12 links, 15 to 20 links, 100 links maybe, or worse, you get a downgrade. All of a sudden people start disavowing links to you and start, removing links to you. Then you may have a challenge. And so you need to go and figure out, why is this happening? Who is doing this? How can I change it? And so what I would recommend you do is first check. First thing you can do is check which links are new and what hasn't been there, right? What are the new links that people have acquired? Then go look at those sites. Are these sites legit, or are these sites really the wrong site that I need to be linking to me? And go identify what's going on. How would you do that? Great question. So I prefer Moz tool. They work with Open Site Explorer. You go there, put your URL in, it'll tell you all of the links you have, and if they're followed, and if they're 301 or whatever that link diagnosis is. And so I would say do that, export that spreadsheet, and then also log into Google Search Console and check your links there, because technically those are the ones that Google sees and probably the ones that matter the most. So log into there and really compare what you export. You should see some similarities. Every time I do this, I always see some that are here and some that are there, but there's always some crossing between that both of them were able to catch. And so those are typically the good ones, right? And so what I would say is check them, and go ahead and start posting links into those sites. Go look at those sites. Go run a link analysis. How does that site rank? How does his link structure look like? And then determine if you should keep that link or not. Worst case scenario, you disavow. You tell Google, look, I didn't build those links. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. Please disavow them. And go ahead and send them an email to that webmaster, like, bros, please stop linking to me, and get that off. And so that way you have done your due diligence. But the key is being aware. Yeah. Right? If you're not doing that audit, then you just don't know. And links could be killing your site negatively.
Absolutely. I also use SEMrush.
SEMrush is a good one. Great link. Yeah, it's a lot of tools out there. Like, I just prefer Open Site Explorer and Google Search Console because they're probably some of the more accurate ones, I think. Right. But like check Hrefs is a good one. And I just drew a blank. But yeah, SEMrush and the others. But yeah, check those out and just be aware of who's linking to you. Right. Like, it's just important to do. Number two, he says, keep an eye on your site speed. And we're talking the top seven ways to defend against negative SEO. Number 1 was perform regular link audits. Number 2, he says, keep an eye on your site speed. He says, if you can't find anything and there's still a problem, you might be a victim of forceful crawling. You ever heard of that?
I have not.
So I have, but I didn't realize it was a form of negative SEO.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. He says forceful crawling causes a heavy server load, which means your site could slow down and might even crash. So this is like somebody submitting your site to be indexed.
It's almost like a denial of service. It's like we'll call it a low grade denial of service attack. Interesting.
Yeah, so your site just getting so much traffic, and it's ghost activity, like bot activity. It's not even real visitors, but they're hitting your site so often that it's struggling to load. It's struggling to position to the point where you ever been to a site before? And I literally got a 404 and then it refreshed and the site came
immediately.
Up. Yeah, and so I know that was due to just too much traffic going to that website.
At that moment.
And so keep an eye on your site speed. Like if your site's usually loading up pretty quickly and people are having a good experience, and then all of a sudden now it's dragging, now it's slow, now people are complaining, like sometimes it's not loading. Yeah, you could be the victim of a forceful crawling attack or somebody trying to do some negative SEO to your site. Either that or you made a recent update that's just not good, maybe a outdated WordPress plugin or whatever it is. But just keep an eye on your site speed, make sure no one's proactively making your site slower.
And this okay, so can get very quickly into the territory of not negative SEO, which is if you're on a on a shared server, and somebody else maybe has some of this negative SEO going on, or they've got a bad database connection or whatever it is.
You're in that same neighborhood.
Your website could just go to a crawl. So
yeah, it's kind of like a neighborhood. Imagine a bad neighborhood. Like kind of where I frequent sometimes, but just imagine some
lots of potholes,
cracks, run down houses, crack house over there, prostitutes over there, liquor store over there, just bad neighborhood, right? And then you come build this amazing house because the land
property
was cheap.
The property was cheap,
and so you come and build this amazing house
or store. We'll say a store, right?
Even. But no one comes to your store because they don't like the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so building your site on a shared server, and in that shared server, you have some porn sites or some people doing some spam or some other kind of some douchey activity going on.
Right. Don't be a douche.
Look, you're a resident in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so you will receive that same or non-benefit rather. So yeah, keep an eye on your site speed. Definitely.
That's why we have our own servers. Our customers are like 90% of our customers are on our own servers, because we know it's a limited number of websites that are on that server, and we've got control over all of those. And I have actually had noticed slowdowns and gone in and fixed database problems. So yeah,
exactly.
Number 3.
He says, search for scraped content. I hadn't considered this being negative SEO, but I could see how it could be.
It certainly could have a negative. It has a negative
impact on your site, right? Yeah. He says, scraping is the process of lifting content from your website and copying it verbatim to other websites. Usually the attacker will claim it as their own in an attempt to beef up their thin content, but sometimes they'll combine it with a link farm attack to spam your site. Scraping has serious consequences. The copied content gets indexed before your content, then your page might be devalued.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say you got some content marketing strategy. You spend a lot of time posting this content. You wrote this great article. You posted it on your site. And then the same day you posted it, your competitor scraped it and posted it on theirs.
And submitted it to Google.
Yeah, they beat you to the punch. They submitted it to Google. They boosted it through Facebook. They got some activity there. And then Google came and indexed your site afterwards. And Google said, hey,
why'd you scrape this?
You got to do content. They had it first.
Yeah.
Right. And so now you begin to devalue for the same content that you was trying to rank for. So what I kind of wrote down here is part of our process. Every time we update a site with new content, every time a blog post is published, we resubmit.
Immediately.
We resubmit. Yeah. Go ahead, Google. Hey, Google, check out this new post. Hey, Bing, might want to look at this. Sitemap gets updated. And that's my message to you guys. Anytime you post new content, just go ahead and take that extra moment and resubmit it to Google. Have them indexed. Go ahead and share it on Facebook. Apply, $4 or $5 and boost it. Let's just get it out there. That way you can claim it. This is your content. Matter of fact, I don't even know how true this is no more because I haven't seen much activity on Google Plus. But I know, like last year, posting content and getting someone to +1 it or plus it was almost more effective than even resubmitting it to Google, because that was like almost a third-party verification that you wrote this content first. So the key here is whenever you're posting new content and even your existing content, man, go resubmit it to Google. Go have it re-indexed. Make sure your sitemap is up to date. Go resubmit that, and so that way you're really taking the necessary steps to claim your content, because it probably will get scraped. It just happens.
Number 4.
Number 4, he says, monitor Google My Business. We're talking the top 7 ways to defend against negative SEO. Number 4, he says, monitor Google My Business. He says, unless you've made a big public PR blunder recently, then a whole slew of negative reviews might be a sign that someone is trying to flood your site with fake reviews. If you don't act fast, these can seriously damage your reputation. And we all know that reviews and 5 stars and that sort of activity has a direct impact on how you rank. And if you all of a sudden get flooded with a whole bunch of 1-star reviews and negative reviews, then yeah, your ranking could devalue. You could not get that traffic because you don't appear to be the best result for the Google user. Now, he said monitor Google My Business. I'll say just monitor review sites in general, whether it's Google My Business, whether it's Yelp, whether it's Guild Control or Angie's List or wherever they're leaving these reviews at. Check your brand, make sure that you're not getting flooded with just a whole bunch of negative reviews, right? And one of the easiest ways to kind of see them, they're usually one word,
right?
You know, like 1 star, and this word is like horrible or terrible or they suck or something like that. And 9 times out of 10, the profile probably won't be a real profile image. It'll
only 1 review ever written, recently created.
Or either that, or it's a profile and all of their reviews are negative.
Yeah.
Right. Like this profile is being used to just write negative reviews. In any case, you need to flag them, and you need to, just like any other review, respond accordingly. That way you appear to do what you had to do, but then you flag it on the back end. So what you want to do, you got negative reviews that seem suspect, especially in Google. Pull up your Google My Business page, click on the review tab. You'll see all your reviews right there, and you can flag them on the left side and report them as being fictitious reviews, and then let Google handle it. Same thing with Yelp. Log in, check the ones that aren't legit, and then message Yelp, and then they'll get back with you and determine if they're gonna remove it or not. Now, you got a higher likelihood of getting it removed in Google before you do Yelp.
Yep.
It just is what it is, but at least you've taken the proper steps to do so. And it just kind of sucks, especially from a search engine ranking perspective, because when you consider Google, they're showing Google reviews. And so, yeah, if you got a whole bunch of 1 stars and you've dropped from a 5-star ranking to like a 2.5 or something, yeah, they're going to take you off the first page. And same thing with Bing. Bing shows Yelp reviews in their search results. And so same situation there. You went from 5
you know that.
To you went I'm supposed to know that. You go
it means you've been there.
You go from 5 to 1-star review, then Bing is not going to show that listing because it's not the best, not the best result for the Bing user. And so check your reviews, be on top of it. You should be doing that anyway. But definitely if you find yourself losing ranking and you think you could be affected by some negative SEO, check your reviews.
Well, if you're listening to this, you should come back to our website, search for this podcast if you get the drop, and then go through all of these notes.
Because it could have been some links you built. It could have been the site just slow in general. Could have been somebody duped your content and took credit for it. Or it could be some negative reviews.
Yep.
You know what else it could be?
Number 5.
Watch your keyword CTR. This is interesting. Your keyword click-through rate, right? So what he says is, look, a client site was getting thousands of hits that would land on the page and then immediately bounce. This began to have an effect on their rankings because the user experience is an important signal, and this looked like a bad user experience. He's right. I could totally see how a Google algorithm could make that justification.
Absolutely.
Like this guy's getting tons of visits, thousands of visits, and everyone extremely high bounce rate and goes somewhere else. Somehow the negative SEOer is giving people a horrible experience when visiting your site. And they're not really visiting your site. They're visiting the wrong site. And you're receiving the penalty for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, check your CTR. How are these clicks happening? Right? How often are they happening? And this is a Google Analytics deal. You need to log in analytics and just kind of go to like all traffic and then sort by Google Organic. And then you may want to add a dimension and look at keywords, even though they'll likely be not provided, but at least do that. And then you can start seeing which terms you're ranking for and the click-through rate for those terms. How many people are actually searching, clicking, and then making it to the site, or how many are bouncing, right? And so understand what your CTR is. And if you see that dropping, even though you haven't made changes, the key is understanding that you haven't made changes.
Right.
Like if everything has been going consistent and then all of a sudden your CTR drops, might want to go look at that.
Right.
figure out what's going on, why did it drop, what changed, right? It could have been a number of these things that caused that CTR to drop, but you just want to be aware of that. You want to make sure you're showing up for the right terms, right? Go do some searches yourself, and when you see your link show up, click it. You want to make sure that the right landing page is actually showing up, that the right experience is happening, because it may not be, and that would be negative SEO.
Absolutely.
Number 6. He says check your SERP ranking. So 5 was check your keyword CTR, basically seeing which keyword you rank for and how people are clicking through. Number 6, he says check your SERP ranking, SERP, search engine results page. Check your SERP ranking. He says a drop in rank might be the result of malicious intent. And so this is again, this is
more like a result of negative SEO,
exactly,
not necessarily negative SEO.
Yeah, this is after somebody hit you with a whole bunch of negative links and they scraped your content and did all this stuff, and now your SERP ranking drops, right? You need to be able to check that. And so what I kind of added here was same 2 places I check for links. I'll go to Moz,
running a report,
run a keyword ranking report, and see. Hopefully you don't have a whole bunch of red down arrows, right? Yeah. Hopefully you have a whole bunch of green up arrows.
Right.
If you have a whole bunch of them, like all your keywords are red down, then it could be a negative SEO, or it could just be some problems in general. Right. But the key is understanding that. So check Moz, and then for your keyword rankings to get a better understanding of exactly where you rank at. But then I'd also say check Search Console and look at your queries. You want to make sure that your queries, that your impressions are still going up, that your clicks are still going up for all of these different keywords. If you look at that queries report and you see a peak, like a down drop, that's either a sign of an algorithm change or some negative SEO. Right. And so those are the 2 best places to check and see what your SERP ranking looks like. Other than, of course, searching for all your target terms yourself, which may not give you the best results because you could be logged in and all this other stuff. Check Moz, check Search Console, check your SERP ranking. Make sure that your ranking looks consistent with how it's been looking the previous months. Number 7. This is the last one. We're talking the top 7 ways to defend against negative SEO. Number 7 was upgrade your security, right? And obviously this is a good one because a lot of people don't consider hacking a form of negative SEO.
Certainly could. It certainly negatively impacts your stuff.
Yeah, if they may not want to build links, so that's a challenging thing to do. It may be easier, especially if you got some outdated WordPress site with some outdated plugins and a pretty experienced hacker, you can probably crack your site. Yep. And once he gets in, then he can just change his content. He got control. Right. And can negatively, he may do something like change a file. Right. We talked about that before. We had a client who actually came over and had his previous company just do some really negative things.
Douchey is not even, yeah. What happened there is we got this new client that, man, this was a long time ago. And they're bigger. They had really good placement, right? They do communications here in Houston, so telephones and wiring, systems, like cabling, low voltage wiring. Yeah. And so they came to us, and they had good position. They weren't really happy with the communication, which is often the case for prospects who come over to us. They're not getting good communication with their existing company, the previous company. So they come to us. We're like, yeah, we communicate. We give reports. We review reports. We have a monthly results call that happens every month. So we got them down this path. But they said, look, we're really concerned about what's going to happen. We just can't lose our placing, right? So we're like, don't worry, we're not going to change anything. We're actually going to start with this, and we'll just do slow tweaks. And literally, like on day 30 after we acquired the account, everything was off. It was like plus 51. If you're in Moz, 51 plus means that it doesn't exist. Yeah, it's gone. And we probably was like, a little bit of time. We had maybe it was just something weird. And but finally it was like Friday, we're here kind of wrapping up the week with beers. And I was like, let me check the robot text file, and got into the robot text file, and they had said deny. So tell Google not to index the entire site. So then Google comes back and says, oh, you don't want me to index the site? Cool, we'll delist it.
Just delist it. Yeah.
We undid that, of course, send a note to the client, and it was that was on a Friday.
Yeah,
it was probably
Monday, Tuesday, it was back up.
Yeah.
So upgrade your security.
Yeah.
Right, is what we're talking about, because Matter of fact, he says negative SEO might not be all that common, but cyber attacks are on the rise year after year. Make sure your software is up to date. So yeah, using WordPress, update that. Those plugins, update that. Maybe you got a whole bunch of old themes still hosted there. Like remove those if you don't use them. Move your site to SSL. Punch in the face to the question we had earlier.
Yeah.
Now, all these are things you should do to update your security. Keep your site locked and tight, and that way you can prevent people from adjusting your robots file or doing the things that will negatively impact your website.
I'm going to add one more, and this kind of is a little interesting. So the biggest perpetrator on negative SEO is probably you. So make sure you listen to the podcast. Make sure you're
not out doing no bull crap.
Yeah, like make sure you're not doing these things. If the reality is you not.
Yeah, don't be out there building links. Like, don't go pay $10 to submit your site to 1,000 directories. Right?
Yes.
You're gonna build 1,000 horrible links that will negatively impact your SEO.
Don't jack content. Right?
Don't go scraping some sites and duping content. Yeah, because you're gonna negatively
keep your site up to date. Right? So that there's no holes into it, right? That's
I didn't consider the fact that you could be the negative.
Right? So
wow.
So know your stuff, and if you're feeling lost and you feel like maybe you don't know your stuff, then reach out to us. We're happy to help you. ewebresults.com. This is one of the few times I've slipped in like a promo in the middle of
so
content.
Put in the face to you, man. Aleh Barysevich, great content. I love your content, man. The top 7 ways to defend against negative SEO. I can dig it.
Very cool. Do we have any what news?
No what news today. No what news today, except for the fact that, man, it's June in Houston, and yeah, welcome to summertime out here, man.
Hot. Very hot. All right. So if you liked this podcast, we're going to ask you to do something really simple for us. And we're going to ask nicely. We're going to say, please.
Yeah, please just share this podcast with like 3 people watching right now. 3, preferably business owners who could benefit from, defending against negative SEO or whatever their digital marketing challenge is. Share it with them. Tag them in it. Tag us in it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And maybe you're listening because you're a business owner and you've got an internet marketing company, you've got some questions, you've got some concerns, so you're figuring you're gonna have to educate yourself. 1, reach out to us. We'll let you know. We'll run that comprehensive website profit analysis. And 2, share this with them, right? Because it's one of the reasons we stay on top of our own game is because we're doing this podcast and presenting the latest and greatest information to you. So share this even with other internet marketers. And if you happen to be that business owner who's looking to grow your business with the largest, simplest marketing tool on the planet,
the internet,
call eWeb Results for increased revenue in your business. Our phone number is 713-592-6724. If you have a referral, so we had a podcast listener last week sent us a referral. We got a proposal to somebody. They just wanted stuff out. So they did mostly local stuff. They wanted a national campaign. We got a proposal. When and if that proposal lands, so we got a good opportunity with that, and they pay us, then we are going to pay our podcast listener. It's a really simple program. Go ahead and reach out to us. We'll talk to you about that program. If you are doing networking in Houston, if you own a business in Houston, make sure you come to Up Social Network. Go to upsocialnetwork.com.
Register. Find an event next to you that's in your area. Register, take advantage of it. It's a mind-blowing experience. This is like business networking times 1,000. It's a whole new ball game. And if you're in the Houston area, you really want to get on the plane. Right now, we're loading up. We're on the runway, and Up Social is about to take flight, and you really want to be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in on the ground floor. It is business networking at its best. We also are having a training, so we're making this free. Normally, as we grow, this training will be limited to only members. There is a free training on June 29th. So go to upsocialnetwork.com and you can find out about that free training. It's going to be pretty impressive. I happen to know the trainer, right? He's a very good friend of mine and does some amazing work for Fortune 500 companies. So make sure you join us. And we did talk about growing your business, increasing your revenue. We have a program called Instant Leads.
Leads.
Guaranteed.
T.
And the reason we can guarantee it is really quite simple, is that we know people are searching. By the time we get you on this program, we know people are searching for what you're offering. We're showing ads to those people that who are searching for what you're offering, and those ads reference the thing that they're searching for and have an offer and go to a page where they land, and that page references that offer, so they will reach out to you, guaranteed. Not all of them, right? We're not saying 100% click-through rate, 100% conversion, but we know that we would never even put the proposal in front of you if there wasn't enough traffic to make this work. Guaranteed. Reach out to us. Again, a good way to get that started is just to go to ewebresults.com and click the green button, and we'll get that free comprehensive website profit analysis for you. Please remember, we're filmed live here at 5999 West 34th Street, Suite 106, Houston, Texas 77092. If you would like transcript, video, or audio of this podcast, you can get all of that at our website.
Go get it.
Like
transcript, video, audio, like the photo shoot we took earlier. You'll see the photo gallery there. There'll be some memes, which is kind of cool. Memes of like the tip, the sound check freestyle, like all of that's there. Go absorb it. Go engage with it.
Find all of that information. And we are the #1 SEO internet marketing podcast on iTunes. It was referenced in one of the reviews that we read today. That is because of you. Thank you so much for being great fans, for sharing the podcast with other people, for sending in questions, and for just being there. We're here so that we can support you. Until the next podcast, my name is Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.